If you're stuck in your career, underpaid, or struggling to break into a high-income role, I can tell you exactly why. You're missing one critical skill. And no, it's not coding, it's not sales, and it's not some random certification. I've hired hundreds of people in my career, and I can tell you firsthand that the people who master this skill consistently get hired more, promoted more, and paid more. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what it is, why it matters, and how you can start using it immediately to start making more money in your career. Stick around, because at the end of this, I'm going to give you something else to add to your playbook. A simple framework to start applying this skill today, so you can immediately stand out in your industry. The one skill that gets you hired and paid more than anything else: problem solving. Most people think that companies hire based on experience and credentials, but in reality, every company, every leader, and every client, they're looking for one thing: people who can solve their biggest problems. Why? Because people who solve problems make companies money, save time, and reduce friction. That's what they're paying for, not for the job titles, not for the degrees, and not for the resume. Problem solvers win every time. Think about the last time that a company hired someone. They weren't just looking to fill a seat. They were looking to solve a problem. And the best candidate wasn't the one with the most experience. It was the one that made them feel most confident that problem was going to go away. I've worked with executives, hiring managers, and business owners for decades, and I've seen this play out exactly the same way every time. The people that move up fast are not just doing tasks. They're identifying problems and eliminating them. I once hired someone with zero industry experience over candidates with 10 plus years because they came in, broke down the problem I was facing, and outlined exactly how they would solve it. No excuses, no waiting, just action. That's why companies will literally throw money at the right person. They are looking for problem solvers, not employees who just follow orders. So how do you become a problem solver and start getting hired and paid more? Step 1, change your mindset. Stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a business consultant. Every company, client, or leader has pain points. Your job is to find them and fix them. Instead of asking, "What do I need to do?" start asking, "What's broken and how can I fix it?" For example, if you're in a sales role, your job isn't to just sell. Your job is to uncover why deals aren't closing and solve that problem for the team. Step 2, identify the biggest problems in your field. Look at your industry. What are the most common bottlenecks, inefficiencies, or frustrations? Study trends in your field. What are companies struggling with the most right now? Ask people in your network, if you could eliminate one frustration with your work, what would it be? For example, if you're in a marketing role, businesses might suffer from a lack of engagement. So your opportunity is to research engagement strategies and be the person who fixes it. Step 3, build a simple playbook to solve those problems. Learn how others have solved similar issues. Experiment with small fixes on your current job, side projects, or freelance work. Create a portfolio of solutions, even if they're just well thought out ideas. For example, if you're in IT and you know that businesses suffer from slow onboarding, create a checklist or an automation that helps speed things up. Document your results, and now you have proof of problem-solving ability. I'll give you a real-world example. When I started at my last company 9 years ago, the biggest challenge we had, the biggest bottleneck we had, was getting enough candidates in the door to fill the jobs that we had. I needed to hire a lot of people, and it just wasn't working. So we looked at every step of the process and put solutions in place and tested it. So for one thing, we knew that we were getting too many candidates into the interviews that didn't have the right technical skills. And I know I say on this platform an awful lot that technical skills aren't it, but you needed some basic level of technical understanding to get these jobs. And so we put a tech screen in place that was a phone call that allowed that person to either qualify or not initially rather than just show up for an interview. That solved a lot of problems for us. We also had scheduling challenges because I had 3 to 4 people who I wanted to interview every candidate. I think that's ideal. You get a good cross section of an opinion. And the scheduling of that was a nightmare. And so we put in place an interview day so that the interviewers knew to block out their time to be available. Honestly, that was just 3 examples of what we did. We constantly worked on the recruitment process over the years to make it better and better and better. And my colleagues, they asked, like, how do you guys do it? How do you find these great candidates? If I wasn't focused on solving that problem in the beginning, we would have failed miserably. Step 4, communicate your value clearly. Instead of just saying, I have X experience, say, here's a problem I solved and how it created results. Use quantifiable impact. I reduced turnaround time by 30% by automating this key process. Make it clear that you bring value, that you create value, that you just don't do work. For example, in interviews, instead of just listing tasks, say something like, in my last role, the team was struggling with slow reporting. So I automated some key processes, cut the time in half, and ended up freeing up 10 hours a week for higher level work. And now it's my favorite part of the video because it's execution time. How can you apply this today? I want you to add this 3-question framework to your playbook. Anytime you're on a job, an interview, or talking to a potential client, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. What is the real problem that this person or company is facing? What is the fastest, simplest way to solve it? And how can I communicate that solution with clarity and confidence? These 3 questions will help you start to develop the mission mindset. I've shared the mission mindset on here before. It's the bigger picture thought process. Like, what are you there for? What are they trying to act on? And these 3 questions will help you do it. What is the real problem they're looking to solve? What is the fastest way I can solve it? And how can I communicate that solution with clarity and confidence? Add them to your playbook. And here's an execution challenge. Over the next 24 hours, think of one problem. It doesn't have to be a huge problem. One problem within your job, your industry, or maybe a company you want to work for. And just document a solution of how you can solve it. If you drop that solution into a comment, I'll definitely review it and provide some feedback. The next time you're struggling with a task at work, don't just push through. Stop and ask yourself, is there a better way to do this? See, problem solvers don't just work hard, they work smart. And I promise, if you train yourself to think this way, you will instantly separate yourself from 90% of the job seekers and professionals out there. Because most people are just waiting to be told what to do. Now you know the number 1 skill to get you hired and paid more is problem solving. But remember, knowing it isn't enough. You have to apply it. The people who take action win. Be the person who solves problems, and you will never struggle to get hired and paid more again. And maybe check out this video and subscribe. I don't even know what side they're on. I would love you to join the community. Let's grow together every day.